Kenya will now begin automatic testing for the virus. KEMRI has the capacity to test up to 35,000 samples on a daily basis. Not only does this increase the efficiency, but also sets the stage for mass testing in the country after the government acquired an additional 6,900 kits. KEMRI gave Citizen TV unique access into one of their laboratories in the capital, Nairobi.
Containing the coronavirus outbreak is largely dependent on one thing: testing. For Kenya's 47 million people, fighting the virus without knowing who is infected, who is not, and who is asymptomatic is likened to shadow boxing. Since the first case was recorded Friday, 13th March, testing has been manual. But KEMRI's testing capacity is crucial.
We are now able to undertake an average of 600 tests a day. This number will be scaled up in the coming days.
At the Kenya Medical Research Institute, Mwao, a medical doctor with a PhD in molecular medicine and a deputy director at the institute, gives us access to the lab. Here, a lot of investment was done for testing HIV. Kenya, at the peak of HIV transmission, required testing capacity for up to 2 million people. This infrastructure is still very critical for testing coronavirus. Professor Matelu tells us that with manual testing, one technician would struggle in one day to deliver at least 24 results.
PCR machine, polymerase chain reaction machine, it can do 96 samples. The trouble with this kind of machine is that the human involvement is so much, you can only do so few tests in a day, and also you stand the risk of contaminating yourself and getting sick.
The Abbott M2000, one of the automated machines in the lab, is efficient. It provides results in real time. One can see the graph climb as the virus is being detected. The machine is robotic. The arm is swift, accurate and repetitive. In a day, the machine can do 470 tests. Scientists here already developed software for the machines and simulated the testing. Machines are critical for mass testing, but there is a caveat.
Is a bit different from this one. It's called a panther. A panther is like a mountain lion, like an animal. Panther. A working day, it delivers 700 tests, not 470.
Unlike the Abbott M2000, accepts primary tubes for testing. The lab technician does not need to pipette the samples into the secondary tubes to be plugged into the machine.
The first results will roll out after 210 minutes. That's the first result. And from that time, you'll be getting results every 30 minutes. From 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening, we'll do 2,000 tests and some hundreds of tests. All the samples collected in Kenya since this coronavirus problem began will almost be finished in 24 hours.
So today is actually the first day. We are going to use our automatic machines that exist in KEMRI, which we could not use before because the reagents that we had were not capable of being used in those machines.
The main machine for the automated testing is the Cobas 8800 from Roche. There are 5 in Kenya, 1 in KEMRI Nairobi, 1 in KEMRI's Alupe Busia base, 1 in the Kisumu CDC, 1 in the National HIV Center, and 1 operated by Ampath. This machine can test 3,000 samples in a day. Only 2 human personnel are required. With the 6,900 reagents received today, the automated testing is now possible.
And then the government decides a certain place, like Kitasuru has got a problem, and there are so many people in Kitasuru, 2,000 people, and they say, we want this test today. From today, we are going to be ready for that, okay? But if the government says we want 1 million tests, no, we have to come back to the table first and negotiate because we have not received 1 million reagents, okay? However, what we are receiving today is going to buy us sufficient time.
The Kenyan national government's strategy for testing for the novel coronavirus disease has been largely dependent on contact tracing, testing those first in quarantine, then their contacts and the contacts of their contacts. The ideal would be mass testing. With this kind of platform and infrastructure, it is possible to test at least 35,000 samples every day, a big boost for the mass testing initiative. Dorcas Wangira, Citizen TV at the Kenya Medical Research Institute, Nairobi.